Hello there and welcome back. We're back in Bleak Faith and I just wanted to share a few more thoughts and impressions on this game, which is totally fascinating me really. I'm not gonna do like a very intense let's play or anything anytime soon because I'm still playing Dredge and Ultima 1, but in between I'm going back to this game and I'm enjoying it so much. I've actually got an arrow stuck in my ribs right there, and I would like to show you why. I mean, look at this game world. Look at those things flying around and all these gigantic buildings where you can't even see, you know, which way is up, and that mix of styles where this part, if you show that to someone, he or she would think, wow, this is like a medieval fantasy game like Dark Souls, and the graphics are very similar in my opinion to Dark Souls 1. But then, you know, you see stuff, you see other corners and other parts and it looks more like a science fiction game like this. The buildings back there could be apartment buildings or anything, you know, and it looks a bit more like Near Automata or something. So you have this weird and very fascinating mix of styles where I imagine like this is some kind of like an alien world far away, with these huge gigantic buildings built into like right into the natural world, and there was a mix of technology and magic going on. I don't know though, because the game is really mysterious. Now I just love exploring. I'm really taking my time exploring every corner, every nook and cranny, and there again, you know, you see these buildings right there, then the ones closer to me look like something from a fantasy game, and back there you have the stuff that looks like it's from some kind of like end time science fiction type movie. Now regarding combat, yes, I do agree that there are some problems. Combat is a little wonky, a little, you know, floaty sometimes, not entirely precise, but at the same time it's still fun because switching weapons, trying out different weapons. For example, right now I'm using bow and arrow because I always love to be an archer in games and using a bow, and I still have the katana and the shield, and sometimes I also equip this weapon, which is the weapon I looted of the first boss in the game. And this one is like really heavy and sluggish, but does a ton of damage. So there's the fast attack, you know, you can swing, you can poke, and this is a slow attack, so you can see it's really rather slow, and this is the parry move. So, you know, it's actually a fun weapon if you're into slow weapons like that. But let me go back to my arrow, bow and arrow thing. And look at the armor. I mean, this is, again, it looks like I'm wearing some kind of like weird fantasy movie medieval armor. But then again, you know, there are science fiction or modern elements in there. The helmet looks a little bit like, I don't know, a rusted Iron Man or something. And that's really so fascinating to me. So let's take a look around. I actually stopped by at the fast travel point, but I don't think it respawned the enemies, so I'm just gonna explore a little bit, try out bow and arrow because I still have to practice with that. And I just love to explore all these areas. There's so much room to move around. And yes, it is empty, and I complained about emptiness in Ravenbound, but because there it was like this huge world, and all it had was like over and over these copy-pasted camps with 3 enemies in there. Here it kind of fits because it's like this game is like trying to show you how enormous this city or whatever it is. And you know, you move around a lot in between enemies, and it reminds you of how huge this whole area is, how big the city or whatever this is. Okay, so that was kind of silly. Another hit. There we go. So one shot with the bow and arrow, and with some more practice I'll be able to hit the first time, hopefully. Ah, silly. Well, I haven't played it that much. I played an hour yesterday, did the first boss, but haven't done much more than that. So I still have to practice it a little bit. There we go. Ouch. Sniper duel. Yeah, of course, doing something like that isn't really the most efficient way to deal with snipers. But I'm practicing, and look at that. There are these little doors and stuff, and you don't know. Oops. Is it like, you know, it looks like there's maintenance rooms with, like, I don't know, electrical equipment behind them, or it looks like it could be like someone used to live here and stuff. And it's all very, very fascinating. And there's one other thing that this game reminds me of for some reason. It's not entirely like it was in the book, but there's this book series, the Vagrant series. If you haven't read that, it's like some kind of like an end times post-apocalyptic world where some demons came into the world and you know, destroyed a lot of things and took over. You know, they're ruling the earth or whatever planet it is set on, and you know, people are living under repression with these powerful demons around. And then there's the hero, who is this former knight. There was this order of knights that used to fight the demons, but they've been destroyed, and he's one of the final ones. He can talk, and he's this amazing fighter with a very powerful sword with him, and he's on a mission. I'm not going to tell you more. The series is called Vagrant, and I remember that book fascinated me because what it does really well is it explains situations to you, and you think, wow, well, these are like the typical cliche story tropes that we always get to see. Like, for example, the hero is like traveling around, and then he helps this old guy who was hurt, and the old guy is like, you know, grateful, but at the same time he figures out that if he betrays the hero, the vagrant, and gives away his position to someone, he can earn a lot of money. So he betrays him, and you think, well, yeah, now the bad guys are gonna come in and set up a trap for the vagrant, for the hero, and he's gonna either get trapped or fight his way out of it, and then the old guy's gonna have regrets. Well, what actually happened in the book is that while the guy was betraying him, suddenly the vagrant walked in, because he had known all along that the old guy was gonna betray him. So it doesn't even get to the point where you know, where the whole thing goes into like this real bad trope about the hero being caught, and then maybe the old guy actually goes out and frees him, you know, to make up for his crime or whatever, his betrayal. No, it was totally different. There were other situations where a new character comes in and is built up, and you think, yeah, well, this character is going to be with us for a while. And then at the end of the same chapter, the character is introduced and described, she gets killed. And that surprised me because, you know, it was so unexpected. And the way that the vagrant is described reminds me of my hero in this, you know, my character in this game. And the way that the world is described in there with them, this order of knights and then, you know, demons and everything, reminds me of this game. And I am very, very fascinated. Yes, I do see the glaring problems with, you know, some of the combat or the control sometimes, and the AI is pretty weird. But at the same time, I'm just very fascinated by this game world, by the atmosphere, the music, the soundscapes and everything. So I can't wait to try more of this game. And let me take this guy out. And I love parrying. That's so much fun, and it's not really hard to do. Once again, you know, my reflexes aren't what they used to be, so if I can manage to parry enemies, so can you. So if you want to check out this game, I will surely do more videos on it. Don't think I will do a complete let's play anytime soon, because I want to take my sweet time with it, and I'm busy with Ultima and Dredge. But I just had to share this. This game fascinates me so much. So, thanks for watching, and see you next time. Bye-bye.